Okay. Where's the thing? Okay. Alright. Can you hear me? So, this is not super professional quality. I'll work on the format, but this will be one of my first videos for my subscribers only. Apologies for not having something better than an Android phone to record this on, and headphones that I found for $5. It comes with a mic. So in this video, I feel like I've explained the ballot numbering issue a lot, but it's actually more complicated than some people are thinking, that they're just not numbering the ballots and that's unlawful. No, they're not numbering the ballots according to the law. So I want to make sure that we're all on the same page. At least all of my subscribers are on the same page about this. I've put this into the reports so people can read the reports for free, but this is a more in-depth explanation, okay? First, we're going to start by reading the law. Texas election codes. This isn't Texas statutes. This is in the election codes. Texas election code 52.062. Numbering of ballots. The ballots prepared by each authority responsible for having the official ballot prepared shall be numbered consecutively, beginning with the number 1. That's the whole of that law. Okay? This is what we argue about when we talk about the ballots are supposed to be pre-numbered. We're told that doesn't say pre-numbered, but it effectively does, because it says the ballots prepared by each authority responsible for having the official ballot prepared shall be numbered consecutively, beginning with the number 1. In Tarrant County, the numbers that are being assigned to the ballots, they're only being assigned once the ballot puts the paper in the BMD, the ballot marking device. When you hear someone say BMD, that means ballot marking device. And then the ballot marking device is adding a number to the ballot. It's not clearly consecutive, and it doesn't begin with the number 1. It doesn't even begin with zeros preceding and then the number 1. That's not like what's happening. When the ballots are, first let's go and let's read the next election code so you understand that they are to be pre-numbered consecutively. The next election code that I want to show you, this is, again, it's in the Texas statutes. You see, Texas election code 62.009, disarranging ballots for voters' selection. A, as needed for voting, an election officer shall disarrange a supply of the ballots so that they are in random numerical order. Continuing on. The disarranged ballots shall be placed face down on a table in a manner preventing an election officer or other person from ascertaining the number of a ballot selected by a voter. Okay? Let's see, the last part says the provisional ballots shall be placed separately from the regular ballots. Okay. And that is the whole of that law. 62.009, pointing out clearly that these disarranged ballots need to be placed number side down. And the reason for disarranging them is so that nobody else can determine the ballot number based on the ballot selected by the voter. Okay? That is how you know that 52.062 means that they should be pre-numbered. Okay? Numbered before the voter picks that blank ballot up off the table and takes it over to the ballot marking device. Okay? There's no other law that allows the circumvention of these two laws. These two laws reinforce the concept that our ballots are to be pre-numbered consecutively, beginning with the number 1. And 62.009 goes over the fact that The voter and only the voter should know their ballot number. No one else should know the voter's ballot number. That's a voter privacy issue. So that if I'm working the election, or some Democrats work in the election, and we go and we vote, and the judge knows our ballot number, they can go and pull it and look it up and be like, that son of a B, she voted for Trump again. Okay? That's a voter privacy issue. For the concept behind the voter and only the voter knowing their ballot number. That's to protect the voter's privacy. Okay? That's what that's for. So that only the voter could say, hey, I want to see my ballot. This is my ballot number. I voted in this election, in this polling location. This is my ballot number. Show me my ballot. That's in case of like a manual count or an audit, okay, of the actual ballots. They can make sure their ballot is preserved and recorded accurately. The reason behind having them pre-numbered consecutively beginning with the number 1 is for auditability purposes. Okay. In Texas, our voting precincts are capped out. They can have a max of 5,000 voters registered in that precinct before they have to break off into a new precinct within the county. So maximum 5,000 voters can be registered in a precinct. So when a county orders a whole county's worth of ballots for each precinct, the entire lot of them must start with the number 1 and end in whatever number, depending on your population. The election admin will then take a stack of ballots, the first stack, 1 to 5,000, and send them to this precinct. The next precinct gets 5,001 to 10,000 to that precinct. Or since we're voting in polling location, that's what we're doing. And then so on and so forth. So when the judges have their stack of ballots, they have a specific range of numbers, and all of that is documented. Okay, that's part of the audit process. That's part of the chain of custody for the election records, is where every single ballot was. Okay, that's the concept behind the numbering of the ballots consecutively beginning with the number 1. And what's happening now is they're ordering just blank ballots, and they're having the machines add a number to the ballot, which there's a log on. That means there's a log of our ballot numbers on the machine. I had the suspicion for a while. Then one of the voting judges, where I was poll watching, accidentally printed the log of ballot numbers, and I got to see it. Argued with her about it. She didn't want to let me see it. I told her it's a Class A misdemeanor for her to obstruct me as a poll watcher. She needed to let me look at that. Eventually, I got to look at it, and I wrote down some of the numbers. And I asked my elections administrator, Hyder Garcia, what are these numbers? And he confirmed that those were ballot numbers. And that was a log from the controller of all of the ballot numbers that were assigned. Okay? So what that means is that the first person checked in got this ballot number. Second person checked in got this ballot number. Voting machine companies can see that. Now Hyder assures me that it's actually different. It's based on who finishes their ballot first. So he said, so Aubrey, if you and I were both casting a ballot and you checked in first, but I finished my ballot first, I would get the earlier ballot number consecutively. He says that they are consecutive, but they're sure as heck not beginning with the number 1. They're beginning with a digit that's assigned to the controller. That's not lawful. It doesn't follow these laws. Additionally, we have to trust that when we check in and we get that barcode, then we take that barcode over to the controller. They scan that barcode and it gives us an access code, which is a series of numbers. We have to trust that that barcode only has our precinct number on it, not also our name, our address where we're registered to vote, or any other given information that shouldn't be being tracked when we're casting our ballot, other than the initial check-in. Shouldn't be following us. that information. And Hyder told me that the reason that we're doing that is because there are too many human errors just typing in the 4-digit precinct number. So we've got to incorporate a non-human readable barcode, and then which is translated into another set of numbers, which we don't. It's 6 numbers that we have to type in is supposed to represent our precinct number, which we can't type in because of human error. Okay, less digits. Our access codes are like 6 digits. Our precincts are 4. But we may make an error typing in our precinct number. And that's why Hyder had to incorporate these machines that add in non-human readable data sets to the process of our elections. So, this I wanted to make sure to clearly explain. The ballot numbering process. Our ballot shall be pre-numbered consecutively, beginning with the number 1. And the voter and only the voter should know their ballot number. These 2 laws, 52.062 and 62.009, they reinforce one another, they reinforce that concept. Okay? Current process, blank ballots, machines are adding a number to the ballot, and the controllers are keeping a log of the numbers that they assign to our ballots. And we have no idea that the access code that we're given from the controller, that is produced from the scanning of that barcode, isn't also associated with that ballot number for the voting machines to track our votes. So we can't track our votes, but the voting machine companies potentially can, collecting data on us that they shouldn't have. So, the lack of sequentially pre-numbered ballots, it's a big issue. It might even be much bigger than most of us are aware of. So, let me know what y'all think about this. Oh. Hyder was using what looked to be a hexadecimal numbering system, what he calls a dynamic numbering system. He calls our current numbering system a dynamic numbering system. He was using what, in our opinion, appeared to be a hexadecimal numbering system, which is base 16. It could have been any other number. It could have been base 15. It could have been base 14, 13. I don't know. Base 20. But there are more digits than are in the Arabic numbering system, like 0 through 9. So they were incorporating letters into our ballot number. Totally unrecognizable as an actual ballot number. Completely unlawful. He was told that that doesn't meet the spirit of the law. So he did abandon whatever numbering system that was, whether it was hexadecimal or, if you don't know what I mean, I say base 16 numbering system, it's just that I think most people do understand, but like we operate on a base 10 numbering system, 0 to 9. So base 16 would be like inserting more digits in between 0 and 9 to where there are 16 digits from 0 to 9. So just sort of like imagine a base, let's start out easy, imagine a base 11 numbering system. So you have your base 10 numbering system, 0 through 9. Well, just say that you add in another number in between 8 and 9. This is a lesson we actually had in my Latin class of all classes. My Latin teacher was a bit of a kook. I think most Latin teachers are, but in a good way. So our lesson was about, numbering systems. And so we actually were doing the thought experiment, add another number in between 8 and 9, and we'll just call it slewed. That's what we called it. So he was told that that's not lawful. You can't do that. It does have to be like a regular numbering system. So we went back to using actual numbers instead of numbers and letters. Either way, not lawful. These are the laws. They're very clear, and they're very good, in my opinion. And in the opinion of the legislature, who drafted, debated, and passed them, as constitutionally ordained by Article 1, Section 4 of the National Constitution. So, thank you for watching. I hope I clearly explained this issue. We're going to go over a few other election codes in another video, We're going to do registration. We're going to do and how to clean up the registration, the voter rolls. We're going to do a few other items we're gonna cover. Some of them are related to the ballot preparation, but the issue is just very, these issues are vast. They're intertwined. They're layered, and we're gonna get through all of them, because you guys, I know that y'all aren't stupid. You understand what's happening here.